Good morning. Three,
What's up?
2, 1, let's go.
How's it going?
Welcome to KSAT News Now. It is Tuesday and we're live from our newsroom here at KSAT. And that's why at times you will hear a lot of the scanners, a lot of noise. Yesterday was pretty loud.
It was, thanks to Max Massey. He's not here today, but Max had maybe some hot sports takes to share. He always gets very animated when it comes to sports opinions. So
he was chatting about the Pigskin Classic, which is taking place in late August. So that's what they were so excited about yesterday.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, of course, you know, since we're doing this live from our newsroom, you hear all the beepings and the tones that's coming from our scanners, our assignments desk over there, putting in a lot of work to get you the news of the day throughout the day, pretty much.
All right, so this morning we have a lot to get to, including a very fluffy, a good story. A local family is reunited with their best friend after a theft. So we'll explain more on that.
All right, and sticking with the canine world, a pint-sized pup with a protective vest is being recognized for being a war hero in Ukraine. Absolutely love this story.
And don't look now like our weather. Becky Hammon is off to a sizzling start in Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we're going to talk about some other news here, including that nationwide manhunt, which is now over after a chase. But also, before we get to one of our top stories, we got some breaking news just a little while ago. It's related to the Spurs. And remember, they had requested that they play some games away from the AT&T Center. So we're now hearing for the first time from their owner, Peter J. Holt. And basically he sent out a letter just right now to all of their season ticket holders. One of my buddies who's a season ticket holder sent me a screenshot of the letter, and finally the Spurs have released it saying basically that they love the city, they love San Antonio. They reiterated that they are going to stay here. Peter J. Holt was 12 years old when they won the first championship back in 1999, so his family has been here his entire life. And he said that there are no Spurs without the city and the people of San Antonio. Your team, our team together, we are the Silver or Black Spurs fans. We are here to stay por vida. Right. So they're still waiting on that final approval from the commissioners to see if they could play these games outside the AT&T Center. So we will continue to follow that there.
All right. Well, thank you, RJ. And now let's move on to gas prices. It's still what everyone is talking about, specifically because it's just hurting our pockets even more. So if you thought gas prices were already high just yesterday, according to AAA, they already set a new record for today. And it's still the start of the week.
Yeah,
so
unbelievable jump here. This was a 26-cent price jump is what drivers in our area, San Antonio, are seeing this week, and that's $3.99, which is an all-time high for regular unleaded gas. But diesel is also at its peak, and brace yourself for this number. $5.29 a gallon is the average price for diesel in San Antonio. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I'm really thinking about those truck drivers, the ones that, you know, are in charge for 18-wheelers. Yesterday, we actually went to go talk to a driver for the San Antonio Food Bank and how that's affecting them. But it's not just here in our city that we're feeling it. Gas prices are also climbing up quickly throughout the state and the nation. Here in Texas, the average currently sits at $4.06. And across the U.S., drivers are paying even more. The average, $4.37.
Yeah, even a couple of weeks ago when I went back home to El Paso, they're paying a lot more for gas, about 15 to 20 cents more. And so you're probably thinking what we're thinking, why and until when? When is this all going to come to an end? AAA says high cost of crude oil is to blame, with barrels currently priced at $110. As for when, and unfortunately, prices are expected to continue to increase. Yeah.
So no good news there.
No, it's just, yeah, doesn't seem to be an end in sight. And it's one of these things that's an absolute necessity, right? Like you need gas to get around. I mean, maybe there are ways to think about carpooling, maybe, you know, figuring out some other options. Bicycling, cycling, I mean,
honestly, like think about in your neighborhood, the places that you go to. If you drive your car to the park to go work out, maybe use it as your warm-up to go to the park. On my end, what I do is I walk to church now. It's not that far. And it just serves us to kind of start the day on a lighter note, but I'm also not using my car for a less than 1 mile drive, and it makes a difference.
Yeah, because you add in all the idling time and maybe even searching for parking too. So yeah, definitely try and figure out some different options there.
And then just budgeting. I mean, what else can we do? Cut, maybe cut Netflix.
Adulting?
For 4
That's
months
going up
or something.
too. Everything's going up
exactly.
nowadays.
All right, so this story is just bizarre. So after more than a week on the run, the manhunt for the Alabama jailer and a murder suspect has finally come to an end. but it ended in death.
Yeah, very sad situation here. So the jailer, she is 56-year-old Becky White, was found with a gunshot wound to the head and died at a hospital in Indiana. So she was with the murder suspect, 38-year-old Casey White. The pair are not related, nor were they married. However, according to reports, the suspect told officers his wife had shot herself in the head.
So this is how it all led up to the discovery of these two. Someone called authorities over the weekend saying a man that looked like Casey White had been seen at a car wash. A local police officer then spotted that same vehicle Casey White was allegedly driving, and it led to a brief chase. Authorities said they could see the female driver was unconscious as they approached, and she still had a weapon in her hand. However, it has not been officially determined by the medical examiner if Becky White in fact took her own life. Casey White, that's the suspect, he was already serving a 75-year prison sentence for attempted murder and other charges when he escaped, and he was also awaiting trial in the stabbing of a 58-year-old woman during a burglary which happened back in 2015. So if convicted, he could face the death penalty, but more charges could come in connection to this jailbreak. And again, the big piece of information there is, did the jailer shoot herself, taking her own life, or was it really him who pulled the trigger? I mean, you're talking about a very dangerous suspect. We told you some of his track record there. So very dangerous man. And it's just unfortunate that it ended in a death. And Becky White, she was a very trusted employee. So her coworkers are just still so shocked on how this all happened. And because she died, they said they probably will never get the answers as to what happened, what really happened, and what led her to help and lead and plan this jailbreak. Right. So it's my understanding they did have some form of relationship, right? And they planned the jailbreak there. But you see this pretty often, actually, when it comes to jailers, and then you see people get infatuated with people that have committed these horrible crimes, serial killers. People tend to, you know, just be sort of attracted by them. That's I don't know. World. And it is, you know? And it's a very sad situation, as you mentioned, a very trusted employee there, and unfortunately probably never get answers as to what she was thinking carrying on this relationship and, you know, helping this individual get out of jail, but very sad ending there. All right, so now to a small pup in Ukraine named Patron. He's the definition of a man's best friend. Yeah, I love this little dude right here. So the Ukrainian president presented the country's famous bomb-sniffing dog with his own and his owner with a medal to recognize their dedicated service since Russia invaded that country. Oh my gosh, so he's tiny. This is a small Jack Russell Terrier, but he has done a tremendous job. He's detected more than 200 explosives and also helped clear bomb detonations since the start of the war in late February, all thanks to his powerful snout and while wearing a protective vest. Yeah, and if you're watching us on any of the visual platforms, you could see him getting his medal there with his vest. He's wagging his tail, very excited. So Patron's name means ammo in Ukrainian, pretty interesting, and his official Instagram page, I love this part of it, now has more than 220,000 followers. Are you amongst one of them? You're gonna follow Patron? Yeah. Is it this one? No. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't know if it's no, because how many followers did you say? 220,000. Oh, it has to probably be ammo. Yeah, yeah. Let's so there you go. Yeah, or maybe in Ukrainian as well. So Patron doing some good stuff there, and good to see that that he's been safe so far. Again, hopefully they keep this little guy safe, because I think the number is 236 so far. Bombs? Sniffing, yes, that he's detected so far. Wow. And he's also helped clear it out a lot of the explosives too that have been left behind by Russian forces. And these dogs do so much. When I read the story, it reminded me so much of Frida. She was the dog in Mexico who helped when that earthquake happened most recently. Yeah. Well, they have a lot of earthquakes, but the big one. And the job that they do, they're trained for this. And even for the first responders at the scene, or in this case, military, it really helps them too, lighten the mood. I mean, you see the cute little terrier and you smile. So anyways, Ammo doing a great job. Patron, right? Yeah, Patron. Patron, but his name means Ammo. Ammo in Ukrainian. I wonder how old he is. Shout out to Patron. Yeah. I'm Patron invested. Must be protected at all costs.
Well, yeah, we'll find that out in here just a little bit, but a little bit closer to home, sticking with the canine world. A theft turned out to be a really good thing for one family. Lytle police were called out to an HEB on Sunday after a store manager reported someone stole a flower arrangement.
The chief of police said, you know, nothing screams Happy Mother's Day than a stolen bouquet of flowers. Well,
I was thinking about that too.
The manager, he confronted the man, but the guy took off with the flowers and left one very important clue behind, his dog. The dog was left in the shopping cart.
Yeah,
in the shopping
make
cart.
sure you
So
take the dog with you. The dog was checked for a microchip, and that's when animal control discovered that the dog had in fact been reported missing 2 years ago. The original owners were tracked down, and they were so excited to be reunited with their pup that disappeared after what they said was a potty break. Never came back.
Police say they have an idea who the suspect may be because he actually went to animal control hoping to bring the dog home. So not too smart. Obviously, he had no luck. The suspect is in his 40s and will likely face a Class C citation for theft. I don't know if it's theft for the dog or theft for the flowers.
The flowers, yeah.
Probably the flowers.
A lot of missteps there for this suspect, but good to see that that dog has been reunited with its original owners. I'm sure that they were extremely excited and happy to have him back. So, yeah.
I'm still
very interesting. So you're still looking up Patreon?
I found him.
How old he is?
So Ukraine's official page.
Okay.
If you're wondering, I'm following him. It has to be this one. Patron_DSNS. That is Patron's Instagram account, according to Ukrainian's official account. So he's so cute. Patron. _DSNS on Instagram.
Okay, yeah. Right. Get him some more followers there. Show him some more love. He deserves it. That little dog doing a lot. So hey, speaking of doing a lot, head coach and trailblazing former Spurs assistant Becky Hammon is off to a hot start as the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, so the WNBA season is underway, and Hammon has started 2-0 in her first season in Vegas and first time as head coach in professional basketball.
Yeah, she's been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. So her second win was on Mother's Day. Awesome. Shout out to Becky. She's a mom there. And Spurs star DeJounte Murray was there in attendance in support of his former coach. Pretty cool stuff from DJ.
DJ, what do you call him also?
DM5.
Okay, so DM5 got a shout out on the Aces Instagram for showing up to the team's home opener. The Aces play tonight in Washington. I did see that post. That was very cool that he's out there supporting.
Yeah, and you know what? DeJounte has been very vocal about how Becky Hammon helped him become an NBA All-Star. He's worked a lot with her individually, and they definitely had one of the closer relationships on the Spurs when it comes to player-coach, because Murray had been there the longest than any other Spur right now besides Patty Mills. She was also very close to Patty Mills, and so it was great to see DeJounte there. Plus, he said that his daughter absolutely loves Becky Hammon and looks up to her. Yeah.
And see, this is so awesome because obviously, what is it, DM5?
DM5, baby.
DM5 has a huge platform, so to see him support, obviously this is going to draw more attention to her team. I mean, Becky is amazing alone, standing alone, and then add the team and then add some support from some Spurs players. It's awesome.
Okay, going for 3-0 tonight. Wow, so speaking of sizzling, Sarah, Spivey is with us, our meteorologist, and we have some cool photos here. You were out under a cave yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm so excited. I'm going to talk today about some things that we've been able to do, meteorologist Justin Horn and I. This is just a couple of the pictures. So yesterday we went out to Honey Creek Cave, which is a cave in Comal County. It's the longest known cave in the state of Texas. We only went about 1,500 feet into the cave, and there was still 20 miles of the cave left. So why did we do this? Well, here's a look at the spring itself behind me. It was pristine. The land looks exactly as it would 200 years ago. So this land has been under the ownership of one family, and this family has decided to put a conservation easement on their land, which means that no more development can happen in that land. Here's Justin in the cave. You can notice that there was about 4 to 5 feet of air above our heads, but we were swimming the whole time. We were on floaties. There was about 20 feet of water below us at times. And then this is another look, a selfie I had some waterproof phone cases there. I was able to take a selfie there. And then we were at a waterfall 1,500 feet into the cave, 80 feet down. That's meteorologist Justin Horn, me, and our photojournalist Adam Higgins. And the reason why we did this was because we want to highlight conservation efforts that are ongoing in Comal County. Here's some video of Justin. Look at that. There was only 4 inches of air above his head at one point. Now this was really quick. It only took like maybe about a second. So we were able to do it. And about then was about the only time that I felt really claustrophobic. Otherwise, this is what it looked like inside the cave for most of our adventure. And we're really looking forward to bringing this story to you. You know, Comal County, one of the fastest growing counties in Texas, a lot of urban sprawl from San Antonio heading up that way. And the Trinity Aquifer, which is what we were swimming in right there, the water there is pristine. We got to see blind salamander, which was really neat. Wow. And so there's concern that more development that happens, that'll taint the water quality. So we'll be showing that story in the next coming weeks. We hope to bring it to you. But for now, let's talk about that sizzling heat. All right. Here's a look at the potential heat index values this afternoon. It's going to feel close to 100. It'll feel like 97 in San Antonio, 99 Stinson, 98 Hondo, 100 in Uvalde, and 93 in Comfort. But there is a chance for rain today across the state of Texas. We'll talk about that in a bit, but first I want to show you just how hot this month has been so far. We've had several days of records from Saturday to Sunday to Monday. Those were record-breaking heat days. Our hottest was 101 on May 7th and 8th, and our coolest temperature was a morning temperature of 65 on May 6th. So far, we are 8.3 degrees above average, and we're projecting hot temperatures above average through the end of this week too. So we're not going to have much relief from the heat over the coming days. But as I mentioned, there is a chance for rain across parts of Texas and even parts of the KSAT 12 viewing area. Tonight, numerous thunderstorms are going to develop along a dry line up in the Panhandle. But then one or two of those could make their way into areas like Del Rio, Brackettville, Rock Springs, Uvalde, and Eagle Pass. The chance for rain out there is fairly good, and some of those storms could be on the stronger severe side with large hail and gusty winds possible. This particular model brings the start of the storms around 6 p.m. close to dinner time out toward Del Rio, and then those storms are going to generally move north and try to push to the east, but notice that they're likely going to fall apart before reaching San Antonio. So our chance for rain in San Antonio, very low, 10 to 20% late tonight. But for the rest of the day today, we're starting to see the sun come out. It's been a cloudy morning, but the sun is coming out now and temperatures are going to rise. We'll be near 90 at 1 p.m. Winds will be breezy from the southeast at about 15 miles per hour. We'll top off right around 96 for the high. And again, at least we'll have a breeze if you're in the shade. And then tonight, it's not going to be cool at all. It's still going to be warm. In fact, we'll be in the upper 70s by 11 p.m. And that's about the time that we'll introduce a 20% chance for rain in case one of those western storms can make it to San Antonio. But again, the rain chance is not great today, 10 to 20%, with better chances for storms out west late tonight. Then as we look ahead to the week, 95 Wednesday, 96 Thursday, 95 Friday, heat index values will be close to 100. One thing I do want to point out is even though it's going to be hot over the weekend, guess what? Sunday night, lunar eclipse. Totality will be from about 10:29 to about 11:54 p.m. And if things go according to plan, you know, we should have relatively clear skies at that point of the evening. So that's kind of an exciting thing. The heat, you know, I'll let you be the judge if you think heat is exciting or not.
Question for you. Going back to the Honey Creek Cave, the trip that you took out there, is the public allowed to do the exact same thing you did, or is this one of the it's so cool to be working for KSAT?
It is that we definitely have some connections with Gary Schindel. He is a part of Bear Grotto. They're a group of cavers, and he also used to work for the Aquifer Authority. So it's private land. The land is owned by someone, and that land is private. So it's not open to the public.
Oh, okay.
But one of the reasons why we wanted to get out there is because we want to show the land that's being protected, since this is going to be protected in perpetuity by the Texas Parks and Wildlife, it's not going to be open to the public. So we want to show people what it's going to be like. Now, it is adjacent to Honey Creek State Natural Area, which is open to the public, and you can access it through scheduled tour. The cave itself is not accessible to the public, but the area surrounding it, the Honey Creek State Natural Area, is.
That's so cool, because I remember that this was the area, this Honey Creek Cave, where they wanted to discharge treated wastewater from the sewage plant.
Yeah.
So that's what prompted all of it. So that's pretty cool that they are going to be able to protect it.
Right, and there's some
beautiful
other land. So where we went to is Honey Creek Spring Ranch, okay? That's where the entrance to this cave is. There's land to the north of it, Honey Creek Ranch, which is currently being sought after for that conservation easement that I was mentioning. So a little confusing.
Yeah.
Honey Creek Ranch, Honey Creek Spring Ranch, but that area is a battleground for conservation efforts, and we're looking forward to showing the story soon.
Do you know when? Can you tell us again when it'll
We
air?
are going to try. It's going to be within the next couple of weeks. There's a lot of footage we got to get
I
through,
can imagine.
and we want to bring the best story possible.
Awesome.
I have one very important
Yeah.
question. How did Adam and Justin fit in there?
They're both so
again,
tall.
space.
Yeah,
Those
so
are two
when-
bigger guys.
Yeah,
here at the
so
KSAT 12.
most of the cave experience was like what you see right here, where there was still 10 feet of air, 6 to 10 feet of air above us.
Okay.
So there was
Good to know.
it was plenty of room. There were definitely a few parts where you felt a little claustrophobic, like this section right here where Justin, but that was like 2 seconds, you know, and then you enter on the other side into a more vast space.
Yeah.
So
Man,
it
that's
was so
awesome
much
that y'all
fun.
were
Real
able to
pros there,
experience
definitely.
that.
Y'all really look great doing that stuff, Sarah.
Well, thanks
Pretty
so
cool
much.
stuff.
Looking forward to bringing that story.
Yeah, definitely. It's great stuff.
All right, so you wanted to talk more about the Spurs?
Yeah, so real quick, so obviously they've shared this letter from Peter J. Holt. This is their CEO, chairman, owner, basically. And people are obviously commenting on the Spurs Twitter feed, and basically some joking. One person said, he's like, wow, he even hits up Pollos. Because he said, I used to go to Pollos Asados as a kid. Another person saying that, thank you, I'm thankful San Antonio is and will always be home for the Spurs organization. Other people saying, though, that sometimes when these letters are sent out, it usually leads to some other moves in the future, which we know they've been trying to broaden the fan base. And I think that for now, this letter, the first time we've heard from Peter Holt, is really just to kind of calm a little bit of fears about the team looking at Austin as another market.
I don't know if it calmed anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, because when you started reading it, I'm like, that sounds more like a goodbye.
Oh, boy.
Or like,
Why?
am I adding to it? Sorry.
I think, wow, okay. I did not see it as that.
I don't know. Open for
personally,
interpretation.
but-
I'm just kidding. He clearly told us what he meant by
but
this
sure,
letter. But
hey, some people are kind of taking it as that. They
feels
said,
like it's not you, it's me.
oh my God.
Just kidding. All
Wow,
right.
yeah. Great analysis there. Okay, well, we're going to have more on this, obviously, throughout the day. As far as today's KSAT News Now, that is a wrap. Thank you very much for being with us. Hopefully, you guys have a great Tuesday.
We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m.